Give me my theme music.
Unfollow me.
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 I ain't really want you to follow me anyway.
You got too much drama. Say that drama for your mama.
Keep that riffraff off my timeline. You and everybody you in cahoots with can unfollow me. Follow us.
Period. On all of them, okay? All social media. Unfollow me. Well, hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi. Welcome back to the Unfollow Me podcast. This is Brittany.
It's Kalendra.
Chiquita.
Yeah, and these are your podcast hosts here for Unfollow Me. And today's topic is cultivating friendships in adulthood. Heavy on the adulthood. So I know, right? I'm very heavy on the breath, but I have some questions for y'all. But before we kind of kick it off, I'd like to at least kind of give everyone a high level overview of our friendship and how we've kind of grown and kind of cultivated our adult friendship.
That's a great idea.
I know, right?
I love that.
Who's going to tell the story?
Yeah. Well, Kalendra she's the connecting, she's the connector, right? Vanessa.
Yes. Kalendra, aka Vanessa. So so Brittany and I are actually somewhat related.
Yes. Family in a roundabout way.
Family, yeah. Cousins actually. And so I actually connected Brittany and Chiquita because Brittany said, man, I have this property, I need some guidance. And she saw my shares from Chiquita. She saw Chiquita's posts on how she's mogul Marzette. And she
Big money.
Flipping these houses
Not the little one.
like her name is Flipper. But so, they started working together, and basically, Brittany was like Chiquita's protege. And then they cultivated a friendship from that.
It's a little step further than that, though. Me and Brittany went to the same church. I knew Brittany's mom.
Right.
Her mom and my mom, were cool and things like that. Amber, Brittany was at the church the same time I was there. I would see her here and there, not all the time because I think you were off at school.
Yeah.
But yeah, the circle was there, and it's just crazy how it was all just intertwined. It was destiny.
Manifest destiny.
Mad weird because it's number one, Kalendra knows everybody.
Literally.
In the Metroplex, Kalendra knows everybody. So it's mad crazy when people be like, Kalendra. I'm like, yeah. Yeah, I do. And then after meeting Chiquita and knowing that it's oh, we have these connections, and then obviously because you knew my mom and she's my heart. So it's just it's crazy how we've all kind of come, and now at this point really kind of built a quality friendship. And now we have a podcast, y'all. Now we have a podcast.
Yeah.
And I mean it's crazy. We've come a long way. But
it's far by faith.
Yes.
Leaning on the Lord.
Right?
By faith.
Yeah. But what you didn't answer, I don't think you did, was how did y'all connect originally? How did you guys connect? Because now the audience knows how all three of us had wonderfully come together and made these Powerpuff Girls. But now,
who you Blossom Buttercup or Bubbles?
whichever one was the green one, girl.
I knew it.
Yeah, whichever one is the green one. Buttercup.
I knew you were Buttercup.
Because she was a little Sour Patch Kid. I loved her.
Yeah, I knew it. I didn't have to ask.
Yeah. But yeah, how did Kalendra and Chiquita connect?
How did we come to be?
It was the workforce.
It was the year 2014. We were working at Macy's. Among the crazies. But yeah, Chiquita was kind of standoffish.
Still am.
Yeah, nothing has changed. I still, we don't even know how we started talking. We were talking about it the other day. I was like, how did we even become friends? Because you didn't talk to anybody.
Yeah.
Maybe one or two people.
Yeah.
But I would see her just prancing around. I sold cologne in the cologne department, and she was in women's. Sometimes she would pick up a shift in the men's department or be switched there by force.
The latter, mostly.
Yeah, because I was like, did she ever pick up shifts? I don't think so.
Not really, no.
Yeah. But I seen her over there. I was like, oh, okay, natural hair. I love it. But she would just prance around and just kind of walk around. You know, I usually be like, hi. And she just walk on by.
Walk on by.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
But I think we may have connected in the break room.
Yeah, I think it was the break room.
Man, that was
I may have had a
2014.
grievance or something against somebody, and you were a listening ear, or I don't know what it was.
I think that's what it was, and I
Yeah.
think I know who that somebody is.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
And that's somebody I happen to be friends with.
Yeah.
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 Oh, it's coming back to me.
Yeah.
Okay, that's funny. But yeah, 2014. And ever since then, we were running the streets.
We was running them
We
streets.
was running.
We was in the streets.
We was in the city.
Yo, all over the city.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
man.
it's like 10 years of friendship at this point.
It
and
is.
and now here we are. So
Yeah, she's my maid of honor, and and 3 children later.
That's my girl right there.
She
She was there
Yes.
for all of them. You was there for
like
all
life-changing events.
marriage,
Yeah.
kids.
Wow, that's a perfect segue. Into
I
what
know,
we're
like
talking about.
speaking of, like
Speaking
now
of.
that we're talking about cultivating friendships and what that looks like in adulthood. So I guess we just jump right into it. So
Let's do it.
for I guess our first question is like how have you kind of balanced the time between like your career and family and friendships? Because now we at this big age, like we're grown.
Big age.
And obviously, you have your number one priority, which is your home, right? And then you
Number
have your
one.
career, and then like where do you have that space for your
Burn.
friendships? But
Because today I was about to quit this job. But anyways, that's a great question. Honestly, with me, my energy and my recharges comes from really good quality time with people. So I'm a person who doesn't require much sleep. I can be great off of 5 hours of sleep. So I think that really helps me in dividing my time. Like I can be on a weekday somehow, well, I won't say somehow. Like I said, I get recharged from good quality time. So if I'm tired by 10:30, but if I'm out having a great time, then I'm not tired anymore. Like I'm literally, what is that on Dragon Ball Z, what they say? Like Super Saiyan, like I get Super Saiyan charged up. There's another term, I can't remember what it is. Anime fans, I'm gonna need y'all to send me the word. But yeah, like I'm able to divide that time and not be too tired because I'm already recharged from great people around me.
Yeah, that's good.
Mhm.
That's good. For me, I'll be honest, at the tender age of 32, I'm still figuring it out.
Tender. Real tender.
I'm still figuring it out. I know that, I'm balancing all of these things, but right now for me, it's trial and error. I'm trying to figure out what works. It's like, okay, I'm trying to carve out space, like, hey, I put my phone on D&D. This time is for me, my husband, my kids. Okay, off D&D. Now it's time for me to work. I'm still balancing it out. So I can't say that I have it fully figured out. I'm just going to be transparent. I'm still learning. I'm still learning.
The Bible says we are ever learning.
Ever learning.
That's what my mom used to tell me. So yeah, it's a learning process.
yeah, well, I absolutely commend you both because now you both have husbands and Jaquita has her kiddos and
Whole
that's
bunch of them.
right and just as sweet as they want to be. Although, let Jay tell it, it's a different story.
Listen now.
But again, trying to find moments to invest in your friends and making sure that you are present and available for them. And I'll absolutely kind of commend Kalundra because she is present.
Yeah.
She is a present
Like a gift.
friend, right? Hey, just checking in. Like I know you had a huge milestone moment. Are you okay?
Very
Or do
present.
you need a moment? And I ain't even gonna hold you. Like I don't want to commandeer, but like when I was coming off of or kind of experiencing grief and thing after losing my mother, she was like, do you need a break? And literally took a quick little vacation and had some palomas. And I was like, you know what? I had a minute to recharge. I had literally a brief moment with not only like my cousin, but a true friend that I'm building a relationship with. And I was able to come back and put myself together so I can keep pushing. And I'm always going to be grateful. So, not to get all super sappy, but that's a lesson.
That's
like,
not a learned
yes,
trait. That's just
right.
like who you are.
Yeah,
She's
you
always
gotta,
been that way.
guys.
That's who you are.
Guys.
you gotta
You're
find
born
those
like that.
moments to really be present
We're like-
with your friends. And like if you notice that their behavior has changed, like step in and
Right.
ask that question. I think that's
Yeah.
kind of what's valuable and what's important in retaining those relationships. But
Absolutely.
again, that was just my 2 cents.
I
But
got 2 more cents to add real quick.
Adam.
Me and Brittany have known each other for a long time because of, our families. But I can honestly say that when we took a trip to Jamaica, the summer that a lot of the cousins and her stepsister turned 30, and Brittany actually said to us, I'm paying for the venue that we're staying in, or Airbnb, real nice mansion actually. And y'all just worry about your flights and your food.
You
So
don't find that.
I said, I'm forever indebted. I'm forever indebted to Brittany. Like, how nice was that? Like to go to Jamaica and only have to worry about your flight and your food. So ever since then, I was like, now this is the person that I know that I want to be a great friend to, because she's so selfless. And it just made me like want to be like that. Like some people inspire you, so that's very much just something that always stuck with me. Like I love selfless people and I want to be able to be the same for them.
To tie it back into that first question, that's how you balance. You make time for, the things that are important to you, the things that you want to pour in and water,
Exactly.
You're watering in this relationship. So you're going to find time to balance that.
Right. Because they're worth it.
Yeah.
We're worth it too, L'Oreal.
When you find those quality friendships that you really want to keep, you'll make sure you make the time to really pour into those people and have them around. But moving on. So what are the signs that a friendship is worth investing in, right? Like even if it creates extra effort.
Like, when I just said the word worth, because she's worth it, it's just like for example, I really love people. And I'm especially partial to people who exhibit, traits that I feel like are very rare. Now people with traits like that, they go through a lot, because people don't appreciate that. So to answer that question, you invest in what is valuable to you. And I'm all about, like, for example, my love language is quality time. So I try to maximize that for people who are a reciprocal pourer. So yeah, that's my answer. Extra effort is nothing for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna make sure that they know that they're appreciated.
To break it down into almost like real estate terms, return on investment.
Ooh,
okay. ROI.
ROI. Just, you
if you show up to the fix and flip, she talks about the ROI.
Sip and flip, fix and flip.
Sip and flip, fix and flip.
Flip workshop. What you need?
Yes.
But you kind of already touched on it. But basically, what you're saying is just a return on investment. People that invest into you, you want to invest into them. That's how you know that they're worth it. It's like, you pay your bill, you pay your electricity bill because you want your electricity to stay on. You want your AC, you want to be able to charge your phone, so you're going to keep paying that bill. You're getting a return on that, investment. It's the same thing with friendship or at any relationship. You're getting a return. Somebody's pouring into me, I'm pouring into you. That's worth the extra effort. It's worth it. 1 month your bill might be like $500, but hey, you still got to pay it, right? 1 month your friendship, things may be tumultuous, or they may be going through something, or you may be going through something, but you're still putting in that extra effort because of that return on investment.
Yeah.
Right.
That's it for me.
That's good. Good. And I mean, I love what Kalindra said about just it's all about what you value, right?
Right.
So you have to take inventory of what's important to you. And then once you notice those values, those morals in your friendship that you want to retain, those people that you want to keep around you, you have to do the work to make sure that you make time and make space for them. I mean, any relationship is hard, but you want to make sure, I mean, like we talked about it before, but your friends are your chosen family, right? Those are the people that you choose to keep around.
You've
so
identified.
You've identified. So you got to make sure that you invest in those relationships. Get chose.
Don't be a lady. You know the game and how it goes. I'm trying to get chose.
Choose them friends and choose wisely.
Choose wisely.
Choose wisely.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
choose responsibly.
Unfollow me. Otherwise, unfollow me.
It's gonna be some mutual unfollowing.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I guess on the inverse though, like how do you know, or what are the signs that a friendship is not worth investing in? Like, you know what, I've given all that I've got, and this is not working. So I'm gonna exit stage left.
For me, I'm huge on trust. And there's not very many situations where I was just like excommunicado, like John Wick. How they're like, he excommunicado?
Yeah.
Like, it takes a lot for me to get there.
Yeah.
But when I feel like I can't trust a person, this has always like been my number one thing for friendships, relationships, any kind of ships. Like if I don't feel like you're
cruise ships,
if I was like I'll make it to that destination, we gotta cut it.
Yeah.
So what would cause me to see that somebody's not worth it is me not being able to trust that they are going to do their part, or trust them being around me. Like there have been people I've been really good friends to, been a good really friend.
That's all right. Gather your thoughts.
It's okay, baby.
Gather your thoughts.
It's
all right, baby.
Yeah. Thank you. Take your time.
Take your time.
Take your time. Take your time, baby.
There are people I've been a really good friend to, all to find out they didn't like me.
They didn't like you.
And like there was a situation I had where I was doing a lot for these girls who were sisters, and they even quote unquote planned my birthday party. And guess what, y'all? They didn't even show up to the birthday party. Nobody showed up to the birthday party. Yeah, I've never told this story.
And you know that Brittany breakfast.
Featuring.
Girl, I am appalled.
Yeah, I had one friend that showed up, who was my best friend. And then another one of my friends came after I let them know like what happened. So we just did something else. But yeah, like they planned me a party. And I was usually always their ride. So I go to their house to pick them up.
How did you go get to your party? They ride. Okay, anyway.
I go to their house to pick them up, and they're chilling like, oh no, we're not going. And they had supposedly told like all these people that they planned my party at Main Event. So I was like, all right, I didn't think nothing of it because I'm always trying to think the best of people. So then I go, there were no party, y'all. So me and my homegirl, we just played pool, and then we went to dinner, and then my homeboy pulled up. So we just all ate dinner.
Look at Brittany's face.
All three of us. But yeah, that's a true story. That's one story. But I've had situations I don't speak publicly on because I don't want to, I don't want to victimize myself, and I don't want to appear like, oh, I've just had such dreadful situations, because I've had great situations, many more good ones than bad. Yeah. But like I said, trust is really big to me. So if I can't trust you to be who I thought you were.
Brittany ready to throw hands over there.
Girl, hold on. Was old boy in Alabama threw that head up?
Oh.
Yep. Because it's time. Because what
Brittany said, try Jesus, don't try me.
What do you mean you throwing me a party and you not fit up?
Yeah, they did that.
It's quality over quantity. Because what
crazy.
you're not going to do is be out here playing with me. But go ahead.
Listen, and I, like I said, I did a lot for them. I didn't even ask for gas money when I transported them. But that was in my 20s, early 20s. And, people just, they see that fire in you. They see that a lot of people gravitate toward you. and it bothers their little demons.
She got that dog in her.
Hey,
She got that dog.
I got that dog in me. I'm telling y'all. But yeah, so that's funny that we are talking about this because, like I said, I've never told that story.
Oh wow,
it's quite embarrassing.
I mean,
a little bit, but that's vulnerability.
Yeah,
and,
it's vulnerability.
Right?
And the fact that you feel comfortable enough to share it.
Yeah.
Like with, I feel like we are quality friends, are we not?
Yeah.
So
in the world.
Yes, and the world.
don't forget about them.
Yes, but we have evolved to a point where it's okay.
Yeah.
Like
Woman
I'm sure there
evolve.
are plenty of people. Woman evolve. Sarah, Pastor Sarah, come talk to us.
Right. Come and talk to me. I really wanna meet you. Can I talk to you? Okay.
Wow.
But yes, but yeah. So that's my little take.
Yeah, girl, you got me 38 hot. I'm okay.
Over there.
Yeah, I don't know.
The look on her. If y'all could see the
y'all,
look
she
on
bracing
Brittany's face,
herself.
she was ready to
Y'all-
throw.
She hugging herself over there.
Girl, cause not Kalundra,
She rocking back and
not
forth.
my Vanessa. Y'all don't play with her.
Look, I was finessed.
Don't
Finesse,
play with her.
And that's why I am who
That's
I am
birth
today.
Vanessa.
Don't.
Yes, exactly.
Birthed it.
Exactly. Got the dog in me now. Try me. You gone.
Let her try me. Try me.
Oh, these low?
Ooh.
Yes.
So what are you thinking? What are you thinking, Jay?
So for me, my energy gets drained really fast. My energy, my social meter, my anxiety, things like that, right? I can only exert so much. So for me, the signs of like knowing if it's worth investing in, if you're consistently draining that energy, draining me mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. I was recently like under a lot of spiritual warfare behind a friendship that I like really, really, really tried to hold on to.
You tried to hold on.
And I couldn't even identify that I was under spiritual warfare because I was just like battling, battling spirit and flesh, I guess. It was just a battle of like trying to keep someone in my life and really, really make it work. Not that they're a bad person or anything like that. It's just, it wasn't meant. It just wasn't meant, So for me, knowing if, when it's like time to let it go, when you're just exuding too much energy from me that I'm uncomfortable with, that I am not equipped to give you, I'm depositing, but I'm not like receiving. I'm not really getting it back.
Yeah.
No, so COD.
Yeah. That's what it is for me. Yeah.
You say it's that ROI again.
It's that ROI.
If I'm not getting a return,
it's that ROI.
Investment.
All roads lead to ROI.
And I'll try so hard. I will try. I will. I'll give it my best. I'll give it the old college try. I'll give it everything I have. But at some point, like you have to realize, like for me, I stayed in it too long. So at some point, you have to realize, like, hey, you've given too much. Now look at you now. You're tired. Your energy is just all over the place. Now you got to reel yourself back in spiritually and really like figure out, okay, like what are you doing? Why are you giving so much and not getting a lot back?
No get back.
No get back.
Interesting.
It's still no get back. I have no get back. I have nothing negative to say about anyone that has decided to leave my life or I've decided to, cut ties with. It's just, you kind of have to know identify when you should have, like not keep it going.
Right.
Can't let it fester.
That's a challenge. Oh.
Yeah. I let it fester.
It's that discernment though. It's like figuring out, like you're like, ooh,
you
know what? This is not going to work for me. Now, this is just a quick little spinoff. Like, how are you ending these relationships? Because obviously you don't, like, we're too old to be out here ghosting folks, right? Yeah. Like, we want to make sure we have the Kalundra.
No, I'm just kidding.
We are too old.
Wait,
we are too old to just go no excommunicado with folks. So it's like,
talk.
If you, like, what does that look like for you guys? It's like, you know what? I've invested. It doesn't work, but let's just part ways. And like, are you like GM HR? Or are you out here like having a, exit interview? Or
what is GM HR?
I mean, like General Motors.
Oh,
Human resources. I'm sorry.
I thought that's what that was.
I mean,
Girl,
like,
I was like, am I supposed to know what that
are
is?
you
Right.
are you human resources? Are you out here giving like an exit interview,
really
or are
triggered
you
right
are you
now.
texting?
I like to be human resources. Like, I want to talk it out. You know?
Yeah, you
I
do.
want to talk it out.
Yeah, you do.
I was recently just blocked and like, I was
That's
just
so,
let go.
That's just so dramatic at our big age, like blocking people without having like a decent conversation.
Yeah, I love to talk about
tantrums and things like that. Like that, I don't know. You need to grow.
Yeah,
but
I mean, but you know, at the same time, I really feel like you cannot judge or have a solid opinion of how someone deals with what, you know, because like we're in the same situation. You just chose to deal with it that way, and I chose to deal with it this way.
But
I don't want to judge your way.
Like, I don't know. I judge because we adults.
I mean, I get it.
Not her judging.
I'm
saying
because we're throwing tangent. Like, of course, from what I know, you know, be civilized at the very least.
Yeah,
you know, that's where I judge. Like when you can't be a civilized adult.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to do a little passive aggressive blocking and things like that, then okay, whatever. But when you can't be a civilized adult behind it and you gotta act crazy, that's a whole nother thing. Yeah. So that's all I got to say about that.
And that's all I have to say about that.
I said what I said.
I said what I said.
I appreciate that feedback, because you know, when you hear a lot about adult friendships and how catty, like I guess like female friendships, I guess we kind of get a bad rap because usually it's us that's out here ghosting folks or being petty or asking another friend like, I don't talk to her no more, so you don't talk to her, and then it just turns into this big mess, and it's like high school, but high school was 15 years ago, some odd years ago. And, you know, it's like now I'm a healthy, functioning, tax-paying adult. So,
got too much to worry about.
Like, so it's like, I'm just going to communicate that this doesn't work. Yeah. And then, you know, just so you don't feel like, you know, what happened? It came out of nowhere.
That
like,
works
no,
for me.
It didn't. It didn't come out of nowhere. This does not work. Our morals, our values do not align. Right. And I feel like we've just grown into different paths, and I'm done.
Communication works.
Morals.
Yeah, it works. And I feel like it kind of like helps kind of close that door. It provides that closure for you.
Interview.
Yeah.
You know,
an exit interview. It works.
Speaking of morals and values aligning, you know, when you get older and you realize like you have to kind of establish who's going to be around the rest of your life, you just kind of like, some things just appear trivial, you know, like you want people around you that know their value. You want people around you that ain't being done behind no randoms. Like, it's just kind of, you kind of get to the point where you're like, okay, if you like we had posted on the bar of the week last week, if you don't know your worth, neither do I.
I don't know your worth either, darling.
Like we in our 30s, and like it's just time. Like, you can't be on the Summer Walker stuff. Summer Walker in her 20s, but you over here playing Summer Walker every day because you relate. Like, I don't.
Did you relate? I don't relate to that.
I don't relate.
It's getting real.
And I'm talking about people in their 40s, like, you know, without saying too much, like, without saying too much, like, you can't be my daddy girlfriend.
Cut, edit. Snippet, cut this out.
You can't be my daddy girlfriend and you never listen to Summer Walker and posting Summer Walker stuff. Like, man, we will never be friends. But yeah, like, values, aligning, morals, things like that. You know, like, you don't get, the reason why you're stuck in a perpetual cycle of trying to figure it out is because you're not valuing yourself. You don't know your identity. And if you're a Christian, you need to learn your identity in Christ.
I know who I am.
That's right. That's the song right there. But yeah, I just, when you said values and morals and aligning, and it just, something quickened my spirit.
You got a quickening?
I got a quickening.
Hey, that's actually kind of another segue. Like, we talk about evolution and how we change, and how, you know, you've now evolved from or you've changed from a single woman to now a married woman, educated. Now you're married, mother, business owner, entrepreneur, mogul. So, like, how are you handling? How are you both handling the evolution of friendships? As you've changed over time, and as your friendships or as your friends personally have changed over time. Like, how are you handling that evolution? Yeah. What does that look like for y'all?
Kick it, Chiquita! I get the mic.
Yeah.
So I'm saying this is good because you were there for all of it. I think me and you, we was out at like Bravo when I told you I was pregnant.
Yeah.
Like literally, you were there for all of it. And I think it was hard when I got married. I was trying to figure out that balance of like friends because we was in the streets, right? And I was like,
we was in the streets, but we was in the streets, but not up.
We were not up the streets. We were not up the streets.
Yeah, I was like, clarify for the people.
You're right.
Clarify for the people.
We was in the streets.
What streets were you on?
We was in the Brunch
Sesame Street, or okay, like let's clarify.
We
need
was
to
in
make
Sesame
sure.
Streets. We was in the Sesame Streets.
Okay, it was PG. It was PG.
It was real. It was real.
The PG streets.
For the most part, it was PG.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for the most part.
For the most part. But no, like I felt like, okay, how do I like balance this? Like, okay, we was always, hanging out, having fun, concerts, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm married, I got a man at home. Okay, cool. Oh, wait, I got a baby too. Like, I got to figure this out. And I think when Kalendra got married, and she was like, wait, I got to slow down too. now I see why you slow down. Because, like,
and you moved to Oklahoma.
And I moved to Oklahoma, yes. Being adjustable. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Being adjustable, like,
just be confident in
before okay, before we started recording, Kalendra said you had a friend that said like what was it, you stopped where you got married, or where
my homeboy, he said that people stay the age that they get married at.
Yes, that's not adjustable, right? You're not showing any like flexibility in your mental state of mind. You're not showing that you can grow. So I think that's what helps the evolution of friendships, being open to like, okay, wait, my friend is now married, or they're now a business owner, they have kids. So we got to move a little different. You can't be like, oh girl, you can't go out to the club tonight. Oh girl, okay, whatever. Wait a minute. You just want to be boring.
When did you ever go to the club?
I'm not saying we went to the club. Right,
generally.
I went to the club here.
That's why I said clarify what streets y'all were living.
It wasn't.
What streets were y'all?
That was a general. We wasn't in the club. Me and Kalendra we was eating.
We was going to the restaurant.
We was at concerts.
We
was eating.
That's pretty much it. Concerts.
That's really it. Taking naps.
That's
really it. We were just eating.
In the restaurant streets.
Like we were in the restaurant streets. We was in the concert streets. Just like the
y'all
mixer.
were in the free before 11 streets. Y'all
weren't
weren't
in the free
things.
before.
Oh, okay.
Now I used to be in the free before 11 streets.
Free before 11.
Free before 11.
Oh, this is the club.
Yeah, I used to be in the club here and there.
Oh yeah,
your
T-Mobile
business
people.
In your business club attire.
That was the era. Attire. Your T-Mobile.
My
folks.
T-Mobile era was.
Y'all used to turn up all the time.
I met Dante the day after I had the biggest hangover of my life. And I went to work the next day like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm hungover, but it's all good. I can't do that now. Yeah. But back to the question, just being adjustable, to me, like, it's evolution, right? You have to evolve. Being evolvable.
Woman evolvable.
Woman evolve. Maybe on the Woman Evolve why those tickets, why those tickets are still on sale.
I want to go, but it's Haven's birthday.
Oh.
I can't go.
Next year?
Her birthday's the same day every year. The concert. I mean,
when is Woman Evolve?
Like the 24th through the 26th, I think.
Oh, this year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, don't start me lying. I don't have.
Yeah, I think it's 24th through 26, or like 24th through 27, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, the evolution.
That's crazy.
Is the solution.
Evolution is a solution.
The flexibility,
like being flexible, open-minded.
I think the 2 cents that I do want to add to that is that, like, a lot of us will have like friendships that are from elementary or from high school or what have you, and like as you get older and you kind of go through different phases of your life, like trying to make sure that you are understanding and, like you said, being flexible. It's like, I understand that you're married and you have kids now, so you don't have time to go to Target with me on a Tuesday afternoon.
Right.
Like, you don't have time to do that.
I'm gonna make time to go to Target. I'm gonna make
There are
time.
exceptions to the rule.
That's
That's
hilarious.
an exception.
But understanding,
No,
like, I think that's the huge part of like cultivating those relationships, is being understanding that, you know, your friend has children or your friend is married, so they don't have, you know, all those single hours.
Yeah.
You know, I don't keep those single hours anymore.
Right.
So it's kind of making sure that you are understanding and just don't hold any ill will towards
it goes
them.
both ways.
Yeah,
though.
it's like,
I have to understand that you are on single hours, and I value you as a friend, and I want to be in your life, so I can make some adjustments too to join. You know, to join your single hours.
Just take that in, audience. Just make sure you know it goes both ways. And I'm sure there are plenty of friendships out there where it's like, you have one friend that's single, always your bridesmaid, and then you have your married with children, and you want to make sure that you're kind of being a good friend and being understanding. So I think that's
on both ends.
Yeah, I think that's a huge part of it. But that's great. Good answer, guys.
And I would say give grace.
There we go. Yeah, give grace, because everybody can't be available anymore. Yeah, go ahead.
Like it's really hard, like, because as for example, speaking from my experience as a wife, I'm like, I want to make sure that I'm doing my due diligence of being one. Like, am I home enough? Am I being supportive enough? And that's going to always be my number one relationship. Like, of course, my friendships are important and valuable, but nothing comes before my husband. So I'm going to have to like make adjustments naturally.
Wow.
And some people don't understand that. But with me, like, my mom taught us about the value of marriage very young. And even to this day, like, she's like, marriage is sacred. Like, that is literally your flesh, like your one flesh. And that's the most important relationship you will have. So my dilemma is constantly like, am I doing enough? Am I present? Am I, there enough? Am I like making him number one? So I just hope that people give me grace if I say, I'm not gonna make it this time. Or, like, I can't do that today because I need to be here. Yeah. So just speaking from my personal experience, that's grace. Grace is important.
Yeah. Very important.
Heavy on the grace. I
Big
love
G.
it. I love it.
Yeah.
I think that's maturity there. Yeah. I love it.
And maturity.
You're gonna find it.
Maturity.
Okay.
It's not common out here.
It's not. I will say it. I think that's hard to kind of put friendships and adult friendships and maturity in the same sentence now, because I don't know what it is about our age group. I have no idea, but apparently everybody is taking their thoughts and feelings to social media versus having. That's why we say unfollow me, baby. Because why you can't have a conversation?
Yeah,
like, why
just a conversation?
Well, yeah, why you sneak dissing on Facebook? Why you gotta do that?
I sneak diss before.
Why?
Well, because you see something that applies to you, you're like, oh, that's a good meme. But then you're like, oh wait, they're gonna think, oh well, it's a good meme.
It applies to you too, but I'm still sharing.
Or maybe somebody needs to see it, you know. But I mean,
I don't know who need to hear this, but
right, and you know exactly who needs to hear it in the back of your mind.
Who messaged this?
But yeah, I mean, in my past, I have sneak dissed. But I mean, it's been a minute. It's been about a year now.
Like the sneak dissing now is it's unintentional. It's not like there's no bullet on it. You know, it's just like if it applies, it applies. That doesn't mean you shouldn't share it. That doesn't mean you shouldn't say it or whatever. If it applies, it applies.
It might seem like a sneak diss, but to me, it's hit or miss.
Bars.
And to be somebody that they're like, point them out.
Put
their name in it. Put their name in it.
Put the name on the bullet.
Ooh. All right. Well, thank y'all. So the next question I have, and obviously it's the last question, so think real hard on it, guys. So how do you all handle conflicts or disagreements with friends? And then I guess on the back end of that, like what you learn from those things or from those experiences? Yes, you can. And that's why I'm asking it, because I know you can answer that question. So there you go.
Chiquita, take it away. Because I got some things to say. Oh, you're not ready?
No, you go ahead.
Okay, I was just trying to be modest.
My conflicts.
All right, y'all ready for this? Are y'all ready for that?
Formulate your thoughts, Jaquita, because I'm not gonna skip this question on you. So just know, and just to repeat it for the audience, how do you handle conflicts or disagreements with your friends? And you got to speak on what you learned, because the audience got to know. They got to know. There's got to be something to be learned. If you're gonna conflict with somebody, you got to have an educational
Brittany,
moment.
this is you perfect for this. Like, wow, perfect for this.
Okay.
How do I handle conflicts or disagreements with friends, and what have I learned from these experiences?
Sing it out.
I need time. So I need processing time. I need time to feel, but I also need time to evaluate, like, who I feel. I mean, I know I feel they wrong, but after processing, I'm like, okay, you know what? It's just a matter of two different perspectives, you know, just coming to head with one another. As long as there is no trust broken, because again, let me reiterate, I'm big on trust in friendships. Then I know you can, in my words, I can come back. We can come back from anything. So yeah, the space is important. And then of course, like, whenever you feel like you, let's say, talk to your therapist, or, you know, if you really just can't understand where the other person's coming from, you have to get other perspectives, trusted ones, not just some, you know, randoms. And obviously, if you have a mutual friend, you don't want to say the friend's name, because that person might secretly dislike that friend, and, you know, it'll be a very biased response. So what I've learned from experiences like that, like I said, give space. And if it's a month goes by and ain't nobody talked, you just gonna have to roll up on the person. Like, that's what I did. I rolled up on my friend, and I was like, look.
Because you knew that they were worth it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's somebody I really valued. And, you know, we were able to recover. You know, it's always going to be, like Usher said, 3 sides to every story. That's there.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I did not mean that.
Yes,
go ahead.
All roads lead to Usher. There's their side, your side, and there's a truth. You know, as flawed as we are as human beings, we have to leave margin for error. We know that we are flawed in human nature. We have our own lenses, how we see things and how things can be misinterpreted. Like, that's just something that's going to happen. But if anything, back to the big G word, grace, giving grace. And then also understanding where that person's coming from and what they've been through to have this conflict come about. Like, maybe they went through something in their past and it kind of, you know, something triggered, you know, and next thing you know, y'all are at odds, but you know that this person is valuable to you. So you have to do what it takes to make amends. Sometimes you got to be the big person. What you got?
Whew. Y'all don't want to skip me?
I don't want to skip you.
No, because look,
because I asked the question.
Very timely.
I asked the question for the both of y'all.
It's so timely. It's so fresh for me. It's so fresh.
Lean in, big baby.
Coming from someone that is like a people pleaser and also suffers from like codependency. I'm not I'm not the friend that will drain you or anything like that. But I'm the friend that, like, I can be very codependent. Like, I want you to win. I want to push you. I want to, like, oh, girl, okay, let's go. Like, you know, let's go.
You're,
let's be friends.
Invested in their success.
I'm invested. Right. I'm invested into them, their success, everything. So when conflict arises, it's hard for me. It's hard for me to deal with because I love so hard. So it's like, let me love you.
Okay, Mario.
Let me love you.
It was two Mario joints that she literally, because I love me real hard. But y'all go back and listen to Turning Point, because that's a quality album.
Go ahead. Turning point in your life.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I can't tell you if I've quite conquered how to deal with conflict, because it hits me a little bit harder than I think it should. But the question is also conflict and disagreements. Disagreements I can deal with all day. I'm okay being wrong. I'm not okay if you're not okay being wrong. You know, I'm not okay if you're not.
If you don't see the problem.
If you don't see the problem, if you don't see the error of your ways. So that causes me to like close up and want to cut you off and like just leave the situation altogether. No matter if I value or not, I'm just ready to, I'm just ready to bounce. So I can't really tell you how I handle it. I will say what I've learned is my response to dealing with disagreements and conflicts. I have learned how to have a more level-headed response. I've learned how to live with it. I've learned how to go on and push it. Go on and push it. I've learned how to pray about it. I've literally learned how to pray about it and not just be like, Lord, me and my friend, we're going through this. This is what's going on. And no, like, Lord, you know what? You've put this situation in front of me, and now I'm here to process it and deal with it according to the way you want me to deal with it. If this person is meant to be in my life, show me. If not, help me deal with that. You know what I mean? I've learned to kind of break it down a little bit. So that's really all I have, because I haven't fully, just like that first question, balance. It's something I'm still working through.
Ever learning.
I'm ever learning. I'm ever learning. That's the best I can give you right now.
Yeah.
You know what? That's great.
Because it's present for me.
Yeah. That's really good and transparent.
Yeah. And I mean, true, none of us have it figured out, right? No. It's just us looking and finding a way, and as long as you're trying, as long as you're putting your effort into trying to figure out what the best way to approach it or the best way to end a relationship or to build a relationship. It's like, as long as you're putting forth the effort, right? Yeah. Yeah. Like do something.
Something.
Yes. So
shut up.
I have to say, like what I was saying earlier, like, okay, like when it comes to conflict, I'm very forgiving. As a person who has 3 sisters, like, in the first 3 of us are actually 2 years apart. We had conflict all the time. We had physical conflict every other day.
Wow.
Like physical. Like I still got scars on my arm. But it was like, okay, we back to being how we were the next day. So I think that's shaped my idea of conflict when it comes to women. I'm like just like the dynamic of my sisters. Like we got into it, we argued, but we were still ourselves, after the fact. Yeah. And I kind of expect that to be a thing when it comes to conflict in friendships. You
should be able to go back to where you started or where you were before that conversation or disagreement happened.
Unless you violated my trust.
Unless you violated the trust.
Excommunicado.
Stop. But we're having the conversation, right? Because we're learning and we're growing, right?
Yes.
Right?
The conversation is still being had.
Yeah.
There are some non-negotiables.
I just want to make sure that we're giving the audience some proper takeaways.
If I break your trust, there's no conversation. It's over.
No, we having a conversation.
We having a conversation
about how you break my trust. I don't trust you. What Future say in Metro? We don't trust you.
If you're in Metro,
follow up. If you're Metro, don't trust you. I'ma end you. And they came out with, we still don't trust you. Hey, that's what I'm on right now. Because ain't no way you're gonna be having me be a good friend to you, and I can't trust you.
You're right.
So
there's no coming back.
But I forgive.
Yeah.
I don't forget.
Don't forget. There's plenty of gems that was dropped in this podcast, though. Obviously, you want to make sure that you're giving grace, you're being understanding, and being flexible as we change and grow, and really being holding yourself accountable, but holding your friends accountable too. It's like, if you realize that your morals and values have changed and your friends or whatever morals and values have not, then, making sure that you are having that conversation whenever you separate from them. It's just so many different things. And I'm sure there could be a part 2 on just cultivating and having relationships as an adult, because we're always changing, we're always growing, and things are always happening. So
it requires maintenance.
It does require frequent maintenance.
Yeah.
And
be straight up with your friend.
Yeah.
Like, if you need something, speak up about it.
Yeah.
I don't have time to sit around and be like, I wonder what's on their mind.
Yeah.
Like, we're adults. You should be able to communicate. Like, if you feel like, hey, I want you to be here for me on this specific day, please let me know.
It's my birthday.
Well, birthdays is a given.
No, I'm just giving a story.
Yeah.
But don't be planning no birthday parties for people and not showing up and pretending like you invited somebody to the party.
Come on. I mean, but obviously, like, you know, in adulthood, like friendship is more about like who shows up to your birthday party. Now it's more so like, are you supportive when I'm really going through it? And
you showing up for me.
Like, are you competitive when I'm in my, you know, in my success part of my life, or are you supportive? And like all those things. So you gotta pay attention to who's around you and who's supporting you when you're in your highs and who's around you when you're in your lows. And I mean, it's a word, but obviously we are kind of running out of time. But I do want to make sure that everyone really take a chance to listen and understand all the valuable things that Jaquita and Kalendra shared. But that is really all I had as far as questions go. But any closing thoughts from Kalendra, Jaquita?
You know, I always got some thoughts.
Yes, because we're talking about friendships and what that looks like. And right now, like our little unit is like we really making it work, y'all. But
it's a solid unit.
Yes, it's a solid unit.
It's a credit union.
It's a credit union. Yes, we are making it work. But obviously, like there's other things that I feel like that we could have touched on. But
for sure.
Yeah, opening the space for you to share your final thoughts before we wrap.
So my big sister, she's merciless when it comes to people. She cut this girl off that didn't show up to none of her events. She was even the girl's guy mom for her kid.
Oh, wow.
But she was like, she don't ever show up to anything. And then she was telling me that the other day, she was like, you know, I'll be seeing a person post like, oh, no one ever shows up for me or no one gets me gifts. And my sister said, well, she don't do that for nobody either. The only person she does is these men that she be dating that be dogging her. So it made me think like, some girls or women will treat whoever they're dating at this time better than they'll treat their friendships. Yeah. They'll let this man do them any kind of way, but will be quick to cut off their homegirl. You know, it's like women have to be conscious of, okay, I understand you want to find love, but you can't treat your friend any kind of way. You get this man a gift, the next man a gift, you know, for their birthday parties. But you ain't never got your friend a wedding gift. You ain't never got your friend a birthday gift. So my sister brought that up the other day, and I was like, wow.
I mean, you're right, because I love you too. So what you talking about?
That's what I'm talking about. I've been here.
I've been here.
You know? So, you know, I just thought that was interesting when my sister said that. I was like, dang, you have a point. Because sometimes I'd be like, girl, you so rigid. You cut anybody off at any moment. But I'm like,
I bet she's happier for it though. I'd be like, you know what? I don't need that. I don't need that. So I'm gonna just cut them off.
It was a cut off offense.
It was a cut off offense.
You and your daughter, because I ain't got my number.
Okay.
But yeah, I just thought that was very good.
Closing thoughts for our topic today: cultivating friendships. Jaquita, you got anything?
No, I'm good. You know, I know there's going to be a part 2 for this, but right now, I think I'm good right now. Yeah.
Well, there you have it, Unfollow Me fans. Ladies and gents, thank you so much for listening to the Unfollow Me podcast.
Thank you.
And y'all have a great one, all right? Stay tuned to the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.